Some of us are luckier than others. Um, Maybe I was fortunate. Maybe I had a lot of guidance. Maybe I listened a lot. Maybe a lot of things. But when I was growing up, I had a father who would teach me about what to do to make it in school. Now, he didn't actually transfer that knowledge over to living. You know what I'm saying? So it was quite a challenge to find my way. But here's what happened. When I was I don't know if I had this before, right? But when I was 17, I found myself in possession of a tape, which I believe was by somebody like Jim Rohn. I believe it was Jim Rohn. I found myself in possession of this tape. I don't know if I got it here in the Caribbean. I don't know if I got it when I got to England, but I certainly know when I was in England, I'd listen to it every night. I'd put it on and fall asleep listening to it every single night. I didn't know what I was doing. I knew that what I did know is that I was a loner. I knew that I was a loner. I knew that I didn't have anybody around to give me advice. And I knew that I had to find my own way in life. So I would listen to these tapes. I would listen to these tapes and I would just do my own thing. I would go running every night at around 12:30. Despite three brothers living in the same house, I would pick up myself and I would go running every night around 12:30, which is what time I got home from work. And then I'd come home and have a shower and put on my tape, listen to it, fall asleep listening to it, never get to the end, fall asleep listening to it, and wake up next morning, sort myself out, get ready, hit work again around 10 o'clock. I was 17. No one had to wake me up in the morning. That wasn't necessary. You understand what I'm saying? But I think to myself how much easier. Like a lot of stuff I had to figure out for myself. I had to figure out a lot of stuff for myself. I had to figure out that I didn't want a criminal record. No, not that you run out and say, "Oh, I want a criminal record," but a lot of times the things that you do would wind you up with a criminal record in an organized society. A lot of times the things that you get involved with, just like you're 17, all of your ego is flying and your emotions and all of that stuff is flying in the air. And I know I would get into little scraps, get into scraps and lots of fights. And I never considered these things to be a problem until a lot later, not a lot later, maybe in like, say, for instance, possibly about a year and a half later, maybe about a year and a half later, when I decided, there was a friend of ours who came into the restaurant we were working, we finished work, everybody finished work, and he had a replica gun, and he pointed the replica gun at the next friend of mine's. They all knew it was a replica gun, and he let off a shot, pow! And remember, we're like sitting in this restaurant. The lights are off because we're waiting on taxis. Taxis are going to take us home. So the lights are off, and we're just sitting behind the bar. Everybody has a drink and stuff like that. And it wasn't alcoholic, certainly. It wasn't alcoholic, but we'd have like a Sprite or a Coke or something like that. And I think some of the older guys would have a beer. I was 17, as I said, I'm 17 years old. So, and I wasn't a drinker. So, but anyway, when I saw that, I knew immediately, this is not the kind of company I want. I don't want this kind of company. This company, but I suppose it has a lot to do with my personality. Being a Virgo, although I don't mind at times being the speaker, I don't want to be noticed for shit. You know, I want to be noticed for something which is intelligent. I don't want to be noticed for something which is stupid. And that turned me off that situation immediately. And then I started to look for my way to get out of there. Now, I'm saying all of this to say that when I was 17, when I was 15, when I was 14, I needed guidance. I needed a bigger brother figure who would say to me, you're doing all right, man, you're doing all right, just keep on pushing, just keep on, or do some more push-ups, you know what I'm saying, get yourself a little stronger. Somebody to tell me things that were relevant to me at that age. I needed that. I didn't have it. There are a lot of youths who would benefit from something like this. Just a coaching buddy, you know, a mentor, you know, someone who could take some of these youths and not be this kind of authoritarian figure that we in Angola so love to be, you know, that prefect kind of bullshit that they put in your head in school and make you feel like you're better than everybody else. No, we don't need that. We never needed that. What we need is people who understand what other people are going through, or who can actually lend themselves to a situation and get at least a glimpse of what's taking place, so that they could be a remedy, so that they could be a cushion for somebody who may be about to fall. It's so important. For younger people, it's very important. For older people as well, to have mentors. You know, if you look at Venus and Serena Williams, Tiger Woods, what's our British car driver name? I forgot his name. But you look at the very best in all sports, and they still have a coach, they still have a mentor, they still have somebody to help them to understand stuff. And I think particularly among the youth, particularly among the black youth, this is desperately needed, absolutely desperately needed. And the problem, one of the greatest challenges are, there are so many people who are my age who are so goddamn greedy with the little bit that they know. That disappoints me. That disappoints me. People who go off and go to study, and then when they come back, they, rather than using their knowledge to assist their brother or sister and pull them up, they use their knowledge to stand on the head of their brother or sister. I couldn't tell you on camera what I think of this kind of people, but they do exist. Anyway, listen, find yourself somebody who can coach you, who can guide you. I'm always willing to help. There are a number of people who are always willing to help all across Angola. They are quite outspoken. You know, they're there. You know, our society is not a society where people come and ask you if you want something. So what I would recommend is, if you want something, ask for it. You know, everybody gets around the world. Everybody gets through life by going after the things that they desire. You know what you want from life. You're a young boy, you're a young girl, you know what you want from life. Find somebody who have done it before you, maybe have done exactly the same thing, and ask them a question or two. And if they're not willing, don't become disheartened by it. This is a natural stage of life. What you got to do is push past that. Find the next person. And think about the light bulb. There was 1,000 tries before the light bulb was discovered. Imagine if the guy inventing the light bulb had give up after try number 5, and most of us give up after try number 1. So guys, stay in there. You know what I'm saying? Stay focused. Go for your goal. Go for goal. Don't settle for nothing less. Go for the best of you. You know what I'm saying? And surround yourself with people who can actually help you get there, and you'll be okay. Anyway, that's Tashani out. I felt I had to do this, so I did it. All right, peace.